Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video. In this one, we'll be looking at decision making statements, which is basically your if else, switch case statements. If you start at the top, we'll look at the if statement first. So we've got a variable which is being assigned a value of 10, and if I'm using a double equal, which is an assignment, which is a comparison operator, so it compares if the variable a has the value 10, which is to the right side of the comparison operator, and then if this is true, we print a, otherwise, and then we also print a is now 10. That ends the if statement here. The syntax is very interesting. So you do if, there's no need of parentheses, like if you learned C, C++ in school. This is a little bit different. You don't have any curly brackets, you don't have any parentheses, but it's very finicky about indentation. As you can see, there's indentation here. So Python's very syntax oriented language when it comes to indentation. So that's the if statement. So if we run this, because a is 10, it should always print a is now 10. But if I change that to 0 and then run this program, stop and rerun, it should not print the first part of it, right? It's not printing whether a, or it's not printing a is now 10. So if I switch this back to 10 and rerun, it should print these two lines. That's good. Now if a is 11, again, it's gonna print a is now 11, but this is never gonna happen unless we change this here. So now when I run the program, it should not print these two lines that are highlighted. Instead, it should print 11 and then move on to the rest of the program. So rerunning it, so it prints a is now 11, and then it moves on. So you could also have nested ifs. Nested if is basically one if statement within another one. So I've declared three variables x, y, z, which are 1, 2, 3. Now if x equals 1, which is true, it will print x. Basically it prints 1, and then if y equals 2, it prints 2, and then the flow of the program moves to here, and then it verifies that this is 3, and then it prints 3. So it should print 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm printing a solid line here, which is that one, and I'm going to else if. So similar concept like nested if, but here you could be in just one if statement and compare multiple conditions. So you can have if x equals 12, print x, elif is short for else if, and then if y equals 2, it prints y, otherwise it just prints z. So in this, because x is 1, it should not print x. Because y is 2, this should be true, and it should print number 2, right? It's printing number 2. You can change the flow. You could just make this 1, and then it will just print 1 and exit. So if I do that, it should now print 1 in between the lines. So that's all we've done. Now if we move on to the next section, it's asking for a number, and if it will check whether the number is divisible by 2. If it is, it prints even. If it's not, then it prints that it's an odd number. So I can enter 99, and it'll say it's an odd number. So that's a very simple use case. So press any key to exit. Okay, so here it's asking for a character, alphabet. If I enter any of the vowels, it'll say it's a vowel, otherwise it'll say it's a consonant. So if I do a V is a consonant, that's good. Now it's here the program's taking 3 numbers as input, and then it compares which is the greatest of all 3. Yeah, it prints whichever number is the greatest of all 3. So if I enter, the first number is 1000, 76,000, and 1 million. So 1 million is the greatest of all 3. So there's some cool stuff you could do. A simple use case to verify a few conditions and print whatever is the outcome. the other thing I haven't mentioned is the output of every program as it's saved is available in the comments, so you don't really have to run the program. If you want to just have a look at GitHub and move on, you could also do that. It shows you the output right here at the end of every program. If you scroll down, there is output for that program. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you have a question, and I'm happy to answer it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.